I never thought my life could unravel so suddenly, not until I caught the president of our homeowners association trying to poison my Cervoise dog. It was an ordinary morning when I stood on my front lawn with Scout, my faithful German shepherd, who'd been my anchor through endless restless nights. Then I saw Linda Hayes marching toward me, her face set in that icy glare I'd witnessed her use on neighbors who dared defy her rule. In her right hand she gripped a bottle of murky liquid, and I froze. Something about that sinister container sent a chill through me. Instincts sharpened by years in the military kicked in, and I felt danger pulsing from her. Scout sensed it too, his stance stiffened slightly. I took a step back, hoping she'd back off or explain herself. Instead, she pressed forward, her gaze locked on Scout. My mind raced, struggling to understand why an HOA president would approach me like an enemy commander sizing up a target. My name's Mark Evans, and I was a Marine until an IED in a far-off land shattered my body and spirit. Scout became my lifeline, trained to ease my PTSD episodes and guard against the anxiety that could strike without warning. We'd moved to Willow Creek Estates for a fresh start, a quiet haven to rebuild. But whispers about the HOA's iron fist had followed us from day one. "Don't cross Linda," people warned. "She'll drown you and fines are worse." I'd dismissed it as hyperbole until that moment. Linda's eyes narrowed, her lips twisting into a sneer. "You know your dog's breaking our updated pet policy, right?" she said, her voice thick with disdain. I steadied myself, knowing anger would only worsen things. "Scout's a Cervoise animal," I replied evenly. "He's protected by federal law. I've already sent the HOA board the paperwork." She let out a sharp, mocking laugh. "Community rules trump whatever laws you think apply here," she shot back, her grip tightening on the bottle. I caught a glimpse of the swirling sludge and sized something foul I couldn't place. My pulse quickened. This wasn't about petty notices anymore. 2 weeks earlier, a letter had appeared on my door demanding I register Scout with the HOA. A second note claimed he violated some vague rule about unapproved assistance animals. Each time, I'd responded with citations from the Americans with Disabilities Act, explaining Cervoise dogs don't need HOA approval. The last warning, 3 days before the standoff, threatened legal action and a steep fine, signed with Linda's dramatic flourish. I'd assumed her bullying would stay on paper until now. Scout whined softly, ears pinned back, mirroring the tension gripping me. I breathed deep, urging myself to stay calm. Linda stepped closer, and a faint chemical stench hit me. "What's in that bottle?" I asked, keeping my tone steady. "None of your business," she snapped, her eyes blazing with arrogance. I considered snatching it from her, but my training held me back to escalate, not provoke. She smirked, radiating control. "If you won't get rid of that mutt, I will," she hissed. The threat landed hard. I scanned the street, praying a neighbor might see this madness. Mrs. Thompson stood on her porch across the way, watering can in hand, her face pale with shock, but she didn't step in. Maybe she feared Linda's wrath too. Word around Willow Creek was that Linda had ties to local officials, rumors of bribes or intimidation keeping inspectors in line. Compliant homeowners got glowing appraisals. Resistors faced endless citations. I shifted, shielding Scout. "You know it's a federal crime to mess with a Cervoise dog, right? That's beyond HOA rules, it's the law." My words only fueled her fury. "Don't lecture me about laws," she spat. "Here, I am the law." Her stance screamed she'd act without hesitation. I silently begged for this to end peacefully, but fate ignored me. Linda lunged, aiming the bottle's nozzle at Scout. I sidestepped, flailing an arm to block the spray. Droplets hit my skin, the stench like bleach and ammonia burning my nose. Scout yelped, stumbling back, and tears stung my eyes from the fumes and the dread of losing him. Adrenaline roared through me, but I fought the urge to strike back. "Evy Denke, not violence," was my weapon. "Someone call the cops." I shouted, relieved to hear a door slam nearby. Linda swung again, but I deflected her arm. She stumbled, shrieking, "You're assaulting me," as if she were the victim. The absurdity floored me. I fumbled for my phone, hitting record. She noticed and retreated, clutching the bottle like a loaded gun. Scout blinked hard, eyes irritated, and my chest tightened. She stomped off, leaving me kneeling beside him. "Easy boy, we'll fix this," I said, my voice shaking as the camera caught it all. "Mrs. Thompson edged closer, her voice trembling. "Are you okay? Should I call 911? "Yes, please," I rasped, stroking Scout's fur. Tell them Linda Hayes tried to poison my Cervoici dog. She nodded, dialing as I rushed Scout inside to rinse his eyes. Relief hit when I saw he could still focus. The chemical stung but hadn't blinded him. Rage simmered. How could someone tasked with community harmony sink this low? Soon police and paramedics arrived. Officer Daniels, calm and steady, approached first. "We got a call about someone poisoning a dog," he asked, eyeing Scout. "She sprayed him with something toxic," I said, still rattled. "It's not just water." Officer Patel joined, inspecting a damp patch of grass where the liquid spilled, its acrid smell lingering. "We'll need a sample," Daniels said, grabbing an EVY Denke bag. I showed them the shaky footage. Linda's furious face, the bottle raised. Daniels' jaw tightened. "Where's she at now?" "Down the road, 112, I said, pointing to her pristine house. "That's her place and the HOA meeting spot." They nodded, promising to investigate, and suggested a vet check for Scout. The paramedics found no lasting damage, but I insisted on a full exam later. Daniels urged me to file a statement at the station. I worried Linda's connections might twist this. Neighbors like Greg had tales of her dodging rules, like pushing a tennis court through a protected wetland. Complaints vanished into thin air, and she'd threatened fee hikes for dissenters. As Scout rested, I paced, torn between fury and guilt. I hadn't wanted trouble, but he was my rock, waking me from nightmares, steadying me through flashbacks. My phone buzzed. "Mrs. Thompson, police are at Linda's now. You okay?" I thanked her, pulse racing at the thought of Linda spinning lies. Officer Daniels returned later, grim-faced. "She claims she was handling an aggressive dog threatening the neighborhood," he said. "She's lying. You saw the video," I replied, fighting to stay calm. "We have it, plus witness statements," he assured me. "She's citing some HOA rule about removing unregistered animals, but it doesn't justify this. They were building a felony case, animal cruelty and interfering with the Cervoici dog." Relief flickered, but dread lingered. Linda's influence was deep. I took Scout to the vet, who confirmed mild burns on his muzzle, treatable, thank God. I vowed to protect him, doubling down on EVY Denke. Neighbors hesitated to talk, fearing reprisals, but Pete admitted Linda once fined him over shutter colors, and another faced illegal foreclosure threats. Then I learned she was pushing a wetland development, upscale amenities to boost her status, despite environmental opposition. Digging deeper, I found an old conservation easement in the library archives, signed by my late grandfather, barring such projects. If Linda saw Scout and me as threats to her plans, her attack made twisted sense. Days later, Daniels confirmed the lawn chemical was pesticide and bleach, lethal to dogs. Charges loomed, but Linda stayed free, plotting. One afternoon, she returned with a lawyer, Mr. Grayson, claiming I'd defamed and trespassed her. "You've got no proof I poisoned your dog," she sneered. "I've got video and the police are on it," I shot back. They left, her parting threat chilling. "You'll regret this." I hired an environmental lawyer, MS. Harper, to fight the wetland plan. She suggested the easement could stop it and add VY said, highlighting Linda's harassment. One morning I found poisoned meat near my bushes. Scout nearly ate it. I called Daniels, who sent it for testing. That night, Scout barked at a figure by my mailbox. Linda, caught on camera prying it open. The lab matched the meat to the earlier chemical. With this, police arrested her for animal cruelty and more. The neighborhood exhaled. Her reign was cracking. In court, her high-priced attorney flailed against VY lab results, and witness accounts. Neighbors testified to her boasts about removing that dog. The judge sentenced her to 6 months in jail, fines, shelter Cervoici, and barred her from HOA roles. The board ousted her, vowing transparency, while MS. Harper and I halted the wetland project. Willow Creek began healing. Scout and I walked freer, the community stronger. He'd saved me again, proving even one dog's loyalty can topple a tyrant.